Tragically, a member of the Bloodline is in the hospital fighting for his life as Roman Reigns reacts to this very sad news. This is a breaking news story, so let's get into the details of it right now. For the past 3 years, Roman Reigns has made it known that family means everything to him, and he is very protective of the Bloodline, which is what makes this news so devastating. Just a few months back, Roman Reigns had to deal with the untimely death of his friend, Bray Wyatt. And now he has to deal with one of his own in the hospital fighting to survive. In times like these, Roman is able to use his status as a part-timer to help those in need. He doesn't have to be distracted by wrestling because he barely wrestles and he's barely on TV. So when an emergency like this happens, he can spend every waking hour helping his family. Even though Roman Reigns on TV talks about how he is doing everything for his family, sometimes he does come off as mean, rude, scary, unlikable, but that's the Roman Reigns that he portrays on TV. In real life, that is not the real Roman Reigns. Instead, the only connection between the Roman on TV and the Roman in real life is family. That is one thing that is always true. Roman would do anything to help his family, and that is probably what he is doing right now, as every second counts to try and save the life of a loved one. Sadly, Roman Reigns knows all too well about hospitals and illnesses and almost not making it. As we know, Roman battled a serious illness called leukemia. Roman also had to have emergency surgery for a hernia that almost cost him his life. So right now, with this current situation, with this member of the Bloodline in the hospital fighting for his life, Roman Reigns, on one hand, has to be devastated, but on the other hand, he is doing everything he can to save this Bloodline member. Now let's get to the latest updates on the current condition of this Bloodline member in the hospital. One thing that needs to be stressed is that this is not a wrestling angle. This was not dreamt up by a WWE writer. As we know, sometimes on WWE TV, we will see a wrestler get beat down. They will suffer tragic accidents on TV, and they will be stretchered out of the arena and placed into an ambulance and taken to the hospital. A lot of times, that is part of a script. It is not actually reality. And with pro wrestling, unfortunately, you do sometimes have to ask, what is real and what is storyline? What Roman Reigns and the Bloodline are currently going through is very real. This is not part of a storyline. This is not part of a script. This is something very serious and very real. This is about somebody fighting for their life. And as we know, Roman Reigns comes from a very famous family, evident by his cousin, The Rock, returning to WWE to possibly face Roman at a later time. Roman has many other famous relatives. But for Roman, obviously, it doesn't matter if a relative, a family member is famous or is simply a civilian, never been in the wrestling business. He obviously cares about them and wants to help them. And when it comes to the Bloodline, he will not stop fighting for them. And in real life, Roman has had to deal with several members of the Bloodline going to the hospital. So Sikoa injured his knee back in NXT and had to be taken to the hospital. former Bloodline member Jey Uso suffered a shoulder injury in the past where he had to be hospitalized and he was out of wrestling for 6 months. Obviously, these were very hard things to deal with for Roman Reigns and the family members that these injuries happened to. And with this current hospitalization of a Bloodline member, there are some brand new updates that are just coming in. Here's what we know right now. The brother of Roman Reigns' father, Alpha, has been hospitalized. Sadly, he suffered 2 heart attacks after battling pneumonia. Of course, you may remember Alpha when Alpha and Sikoa is Roman Reigns' father, presented Roman Reigns with the Tribal Chief necklace, which is known as the Ula Falu. And ever since then, Roman has been known as the Tribal Chief, as Roman was officially christened the Tribal Chief. And fast forward to today, Alpha is currently in the hospital after suffering 2 life-threatening heart attacks and battling pneumonia. Roman has appeared with Alpha behind the scenes in real life, as they have a very close relationship, as Roman has said that he's always had a close bond with his uncle, Alpha. Of course, Alpha is well known in wrestling, as he was a member of the Wild Samoans with Roman's father, Sikoa. They were, in fact, the WWE Tag Team Champions in the 1980s. Today, Alpha is 81 years old, and he has had some other health battles through the years and had to be hospitalized back then, resulting in hospitalizations, but now he is back in the hospital once again. And obviously, Roman wants to see his uncle be released from the hospital and reunite with the Bloodline family. There are new updates coming in. We are following this heartbreaking, developing story, so stay tuned and we will bring you updates as they become available. What are your thoughts about the uncle of Roman Reigns, Alpha, in the hospital? And what are your memories of Alpha and Sikoa, the Wild Samoans, in WWE? Leave a comment below and give me your opinion. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell notification so you are notified when we upload a new video.